Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefit, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there, producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't give up on Cameron Boozer following his rough first half against the Summer Warriors last night, because he bounced back in the final two periods, and now the Summer Grizz are 2-1 in the Las Vegas Summer League with another game set for tomorrow night. I'll tell you how it all unfolded momentarily. We'll talk all things Las Vegas Summer League, but first, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, let's call it around 10:35 or so, Chris Vernon is going to join me. He, of course, is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He was out in Vegas for Las Vegas Summer League. He, of course, has returned. He'll be in studio with me in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back. Do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them, congratulations to Spain. 2-0 victory over France that has advanced the 4th most populous European Union to Sunday's World Cup final. Next up for Spain, it's either England or Argentina. We'll talk soccer in about, an hour or so. The MLB All-Star Game was held last night in Philadelphia. The American League won it. Final score 4-0. White Sox rookie Miguel Vargas put one in the second deck. 433 feet. He's a nice story. We'll show you the home run. We'll do that in just a bit. Hilton Grand Vacations has fired an employee who sent a racist message to 6-time WNBA All-Star Chelsea Gray. Special shouts to the internet investigators who identified this scumbag. We'll celebrate them a little later on in the show. A report from the Wall Street Journal about the investigation into Michigan's athletic department. It alleges that Michigan AD Ward Manuel had concerns about the relationship between former football coach Sharon Moore and his executive assistant, Paige Shivers, even before Sharon Moore ever coached his first game. But the assistant remained with the program for well over a year, and that is among the reasons Ward Manuel is about to, barring a surprise, lose his job. I'll give you the details on that in the third segment. And the House has passed a bill to make daylight savings time permanent. Now it's in the hands of the Senate. We'll applaud, at least I'm going to applaud. I'll get Bennett's thoughts, but I'm going to applaud this possible legislation during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I want to start out in Las Vegas, where the Summer Grizz played their third game in 5 days last night. The opponent, it was the Summer Warriors, and it was the second night of a back-to-back. So heading in, if we're being honest, I don't want to speak for Bennett, but I did not expect Cameron Boozer or Cedric Coward to play. Our expectations were, we had wrong expectations, because just before the 6 p.m. tip, Jessica Benson, she reported to us that both lottery picks would be in the starting lineup, and suddenly what seemed like it might be a whatever night in studio, it got much more interesting. The byproduct was a 21-point victory that pushed the Summer Grizz to 2-1 out in Las Vegas. The final score, if you care, Summer Grizz 106, Summer Warriors 85. It was an interesting 4 quarters of basketball, in part because Cameron Boozer, you know him, he's third pick 2026 NBA draft. He was shockingly held scoreless in the opening half after missing all 6 shots that he attempted in the first 2 quarters. Needless to say, he was better in the second half. The result, again, lopsided victory that pushed the Grizz to 2-1 in Las Vegas, with Game 4 set for tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central. You'll be able to watch that right here on the Grind City Media app. Pre-game going to start at 6:45. Big Bet Bennett, it's good to see you on this Wednesday morning. Before we talk about the difference between Cameron Boozer's first half and Cameron Boozer's second half, let me start by asking how you felt about Cameron Boozer and Cedric Coward both playing against the Summer Warriors on what was, again, the second night of a back-to-back and the third game in a 5-day span.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by it like you were, but I was definitely happy by the decision, just because I think that group of guys all just had a bad taste in their mouth from the night before, and were like, we gotta right this. You know, they didn't feel good about how they played against Dallas, and so the fact that they are taking this seriously. I mean, they are trying to establish a culture here, right? Like, this is a new group of guys, a young group of guys, and I think that for this franchise, maybe more than a lot of franchises at Summer League right now, it's important to kind of establish something with this group. So I'm glad that they played.
I echo all of that. I don't think the Warriors are trying to establish anything in Summer League. They're trying to see what they got in Yaxel Lindenborg and recruit LeBron James to join Steph Curry and Draymond Green and whatever else they've got in Golden State these days. But the Grizzlies, whatever the Grizzlies are going to be, with the exception of Zach Edey, I guess, it's in Vegas. It's on the court. It's in uniform. And Game 2 at Las Vegas obviously was discouraging for a lot of different reasons. Played no defense, let their opponents shoot above 50% from the field, above 40% from 3. And it does feel like if Cameron Boozer did not want to play, or his people thought it was time to shut it down, there's a decent chance he would not have played last night. I think what you're suggesting is probably something close to true. Like, hey, that was not good. We got another game. You guys want to play it? And I don't know that it went down exactly like that, but it seemed obvious to me that Cameron Boozer was comfortable playing for the third time in 5 games, a third Summer League game, and for the second time on back-to-back, and Cedric Coward as well. And so I think what I said this time yesterday on this show when we talked about it was different franchises will handle these things different ways, and there's already examples of that. Washington did shut down A.J. DeBonsa. The Grizzlies continue to play Cameron Boozer. The Bulls are continuing to play Caleb Wilson. Different franchises handle this different ways. But I think the thing I said yesterday was, if they decide to not play specifically Boozer and Coward last night, when it was, again, the third game in 5 days and the second game in a back-to-back, I said I would understand that. That makes no sense. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. But if they decide to play him for all the reasons you just laid out, that makes sense to me too. I'll let them make the decision. They made it at some point yesterday, and the result was a 21-point victory. So I was surprised that they played, but I'm glad that they did. And then I guess the first half got off to a fine start, or whatever. They were up at the half after a nice run in the second quarter, but Boozer was not good in the first quarter or the second. 0 of 6 from the field in the first half. You and I were sitting here in studio with Lang Whitaker, Jessica Benson joining us from Las Vegas. And I just immediately, as we're in break between the end of the first half and we're coming back to our GCM studios, just a quick little Google search. Hey, was Cameron Boozer ever held scoreless in a half at Duke? And the answer was yes, 2 times, including the season opener, his first college game against Texas. And I guess I didn't have a recollection of this, but going back and reading about it, it conjured up some memories. In that game, we now know Cameron Boozer, the eventual consensus unanimous National Player of the Year. Season opener against Texas, one of the more high-profile games of the opening weekend of the college basketball season. He was 0 of 7 from the field in that first half, and Duke was down by a point after those 20 minutes. And reportedly, John Shire called Boozer soft at halftime in the locker room. He said, man, you're playing soft. Like, you got to be better than this. Use the word soft. And then Cameron Boozer responded with 15 points in the second half of what became a 75-60 victory for the Blue Devils. Finished with 15 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, played 36 minutes that night. And when it was over, Texas coach Sean Miller called Cameron Boozer a, quote, one-man wrecking crew. So he had shown the ability to bounce back from a rough first half before, whether you remember watching it or not, and then he did it again last night. 4 of 6 from the field in the second half. Finished with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was a game high plus 35.
God.
Why? Because he's a winner.
You're damn right he is.
Because he's a winner, that's why.
You're damn right he is. I also like the fact that he was able, in that Duke game, able to take some criticism from his coach in halftime and bounce back and have a nice performance.
Not. That's called piling on, Bennett.
No, it's not. I'm just. I'm not referencing anything.
That's called kicking somebody when they're down.
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like, that's good that he's able to take that and build off of it in the second half of a game. I like that.
Independent of anything you might be suggesting, I too like that a face of a franchise could be called out by a coach at halftime and respond positively to it.
Yeah.
As opposed to
negatively.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
Yes.
As opposed to negatively, right?
Yes.
So I think that was a good sign dating all the way back to his first game at Duke. And if you want to know why, I've had some people who work in the NBA genuinely tell me that they believe the Grizzlies would have taken Cameron Boozer number 1 even if they would have won the lottery. Like, if they would have won the lottery, he would still be a Memphis Grizzly. I've had multiple people
I believe that.
in the NBA tell me that. I don't know if I told you this. I can't keep track of where I say things. I had somebody who works in the NBA who, like, is one of the people who talks to everybody in the NBA, all right? This is a person who is well-sourced and has conversations with, I would assume, every franchise. I want to be clear, does not work for the Grizzlies, with the Grizzlies, does not live in Memphis, none of that stuff. It's just when you're in Las Vegas, you are constantly bumping into people. And because if I bump into people and they happen to know me, they are probably going to also know where I live and what I do. And at some point, because you run out of things to say, when you bump into people in Las Vegas, they go, so what's going on with the Grizzlies? Or what do you think about what the Grizzlies have done? And then you end up in conversations about the Grizzlies. This is every 5-minute interaction that I had in Las Vegas. Hey, GP, how you doing? How you been? How's the family? So what do you think about what the Grizzlies did? This is the way it works, right? Where are you staying? They might know where you're staying in there. And so I had multiple people tell me this. Tell me what you think of this. First, tell me if I've already told you this. If so, I apologize. If not, tell me what you think of it. I had multiple people tell me who work in the NBA, people who would know these kinds of things. They said, I can't prove it to you, and I don't know it to be true, but here's what I believe. That the Grizzlies' big board, so to speak, like if you have a big board, this is who we would take 1, this is who we would take 2. So they think the Grizzlies' big board was 1, Cameron Boozer, and 2, Caleb Wilson.
Wow.
That DeBonsa would have been 3 and Peterson would have been 4.
That is very interesting.
It is just interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's true. The only true thing I can tell you is that multiple people who work in the NBA who know these types of things told me that. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's true. I just know that multiple people believe it's true, and they told me that. Now I'm telling it to you. But, yeah, dating all the way back to that first game at Duke, there were signs of the type of stuff that you love from Cameron Boozer. You would never like your star player to go scoreless in the first half of a basketball game. That is not ideal. But I do think if it ever happens, it's interesting to see how they respond to that. And if you happen to see something you didn't like in the first half and you call them out on it, I think it's also interesting to see how they respond to that.
Yep.
And by all accounts, Cameron Boozer on the first night of the season responded favorably. Bounced back in the second half, had 15 points after having 0 in the first, and after being called, quote, soft by his coach in the locker room in front of his teammates. You know what he did? Laughed about it with his coach afterward and said he was right. I had to be better, and I was, and that's why we won the game. I like that. Don't you like that?
I like that. I like that. I'm very excited about having Cam Boozer here.
Javon Small added 26 points last night. Does that matter to you?
Yeah, it actually really does matter to me.
Tell me why.
First off, I'm happy for Javon. He's been pretty good throughout summer league, up and down. I would say this was by far his best performance. Love that he showed, like he said when JB interviewed him after the game, that he's a 3-point shooter. Like that's part of his game, and that was obviously on display last night. I think. Just you look at like all the logjam that they have at guard right now, and they're going to have to consolidate that before the season starts and figure that out. There's still like going to be moves to be made to consolidate this roster. We know that because of how many players they have on it right now. And I just going back to the end of last season when he was getting a lot of run, I'm pretty high on Javon, man. I think that he's got a chance to be a serviceable point guard in this league for a long time. And I think I think we're going to assume that Ty and Scotty are going to be probably the point guards to start the season. Who starts, we don't know, but there's very much another backup point guard spot up for grabs. I think they'll carry 3 point guards on this team at minimum just because of the injuries they've dealt with over the past couple seasons. And he's got a chance to grab one of those spots. Walter Clayton Jr. is still out. We don't know if we'll see him in summer league or not at this point. And this is his opportunity. And he grabbed it last night. And so I was really happy for him.
I think you're correct that either Ty Jerome or Scottie Pippen Jr. will be the starting point guard on opening night, provided they're both healthy, or at least one of them's healthy. Do you have a preference? Who should it be?
For me, and I wouldn't be whoever it is. I don't care. I like both those guys. I would probably go Scotty, and the reason that I say that is because he's been with the franchise for a while now. At this point, we've seen him we saw him. He was probably the best player in that Oklahoma City Thunder series, if we're being honest. He was one of the best players for the Grizzlies in that lopsided series.
He was one of the few dudes in uniform who showed he could play in that game.
Yes, and I think Scotty's an underrated defender, and so the reason I say that is because if you were to roll out a lineup of let's just say it's Scotty said either Jalen Wells or Jeremy Grant, Cam Boozer and Zach Edey, that's got potential to be a pretty good defensive lineup. And that's why I say I'd probably go with Scotty off the front end, just because I think defensively that group's got a chance to be pretty good.
The reason I ask you that is because I think most people assume Ty Jerome's the starting point guard.
Right.
Because when you see
I do not think that's set in stone.
When you see the graphics of possible or probable Grizzlies starting lineups, once you got John Morant pushed to Portland, people just sort of slotted Ty Jerome in there. And it might be, I understand. I think Ty Jerome's probably the better player. And so that's why people make that assumption. But I had a smart basketball person, when this conversation happened, say if I were them, I would start Scottie Pippen.
Because in my opinion, on a good basketball team that's competing for a playoff spot, Ty Jerome is trying to be sixth man of the year. He's coming off the bench and filling it up for you immediately. I think that's the best role for him.
This was their argument more than with anything that happens on the defensive end of the court, It was Ty Jerome is there to get buckets, and Scottie Pippen is going to get Scottie Pippen will let Zach Edey touch it a little bit more, perhaps, or Cameron Boozer touch it a little bit more, perhaps. And Ty Jerome, just thought simply, Scottie Pippen Jr. would be a better fit with the other projected starters the Grizzlies are going to theoretically throw out there. And this person just sort of suggested to me, I know most people believe Ty Jerome will be the starting point guard because he is, quote unquote, their best point guard. But if I were them, I think the better combination is Scottie Pippen with the starters, Ty Jerome off the bench. As always, we'll see. But I thought that was an interesting, perspective from somebody.
Yeah.
You seem to echo it. And if Javon Small is fighting to try to, be a part of that group that continues here, well, last night was a good night for him.
For sure. Also, it wasn't the game before last. Scotty's there with the team, and he was interviewed by Cassidy at halftime or during the game, and he said that he was getting healthy and to be ready to go for the season. So it sounds like that his progress is going really well.
All right, let's talk Cedric Coward.
Yep.
Played 25 minutes last night. It's 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. And that continues a not so great pattern in Las Vegas. I'll run you through it real quick. Game 1 against the Bulls, he was 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. Game 2 against the Mavericks, 7 of 23 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. Game 3 against the Warriors, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. So in 3 games in Las Vegas, Cedric Coward has averaged 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Those numbers aren't bad. Just, somebody just put them on a piece of paper and passed them to you. But he's only shooting 33.3% from the field and just 23.6% from 3. Neither of those numbers is good. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's obviously not been a great summer league for Ced. Am I worried about him or concerned? You would like to see a second-year guy definitely go out and dominate the competition in summer league. I wonder if a little bit of it is you're trying to play in a system with these guys and not just go out and like you see some of these summer league teams. I'll give you an example. Caleb Wilson's actually a good example of a guy that's just going to go out there and put up big numbers because, he's like
awesome,
the guy on that summer league team. And he's
I thought
awesome.
you were going to say awesome.
He is awesome. And he's going to go out and put up big numbers. I think that they might be trying to play like they want to play during the season. They've got guys that are going to be main roster, the Grizzlies. They've got guys that are going to be main roster guys that are all playing together out there on this team. So I wonder if it's a little bit of that. He definitely looks uncomfortable. Danny Green was talking about it on the last broadcast, saying that he never really got a chance to get into any kind of rhythm, and you saw that last night too. So, I guess it's a little bit concerning, but I'm still super high on Cedric Coward. Like I'm not going to take this summer league performance and be like, oh no, we could be in trouble here. I can't get there.
I'm not going to get there either.
No.
I don't think anybody should.
No.
But numbers are numbers, and
it hasn't been great.
It's July 15th that we're talking about. As a rookie last season, he shot 47.1% from the field and 33.8% from 3. And the result of that was he was named first-team All-Rookie alongside the top 4 picks from the 2025 NBA draft: Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, Con Kneppel. So, like you, I'm not concerned. I'm 100% not concerned. But we have found ourselves, I think I've heard everybody around here say it at some point, we like to say things like Cedric Coward looks too good for summer league.
Right.
It's a fun thing to say. It's a neat thing to think, but the numbers don't back that up.
Right.
Again, no reason to panic, because panicking about anything other than injuries, like bad injuries, in summer league is probably just a stupid thing to do. But still, like if your first team all-rookie former lottery pick is going to play in summer league, Because, like, keep in mind, none of them other dudes are. Mm-hmm. If he's going to play, you'd at least like for him to look awesome and as sometimes described, which is too good for Summer League. So far, that hasn't really been the case. But again, it's just Summer League. So, whatever.
Yeah. You also had two other players that were shooting the ball lights out in that second half last night. And so it's like, you kind of let them have it. That's a little bit of that.
Sure, but I'd still like you to make them.
I would too.
When you take them, I would still like. It's awesome that the other guys were making them, but I would like for you to make some too.
Fair enough.
Looking ahead, today is a day off for the Grizzlies out in Las Vegas, so I hope they enjoy their rest and relaxation. I know everybody deserves it. And then on Thursday night, going to be back inside Thomas and Mack. It's going to be Summer Grizz versus the Summer Hawks. If that sounds familiar, it's because we've already done that out in Utah.
Did we play the Summer Hawks? We did, yeah.
I think so. So tonight or tomorrow night, Summer Grizz, Summer Hawks, round 2. Thomas and Mack, tip scheduled 7 o'clock Central, pregame 6:45 on the GCM app. You got any guesses about who's playing, who's not? We were so perfect at doing that yesterday.
Okay, so I would assume that we've got, this is, if they say, because they said last night, when they announced that those guys were going to play, that they expect Kareem Lopez to be available.
Let's quote accurately. They said Kareem Lopez remains on track to play in Summer League. Now, there's only 2 more games.
Right.
So, got to get going if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But
you would think it'd be this one.
In public relations, and we talked about this last night in studio, in public relations, there's little words.
Yes.
Also, you ready? Just in reporting, there's little phrases and words that just buy you wiggle room. A casual reader might not pick up on them, but they're very important phrases because they always give you an out. Mm-hmm. And so they did not say, very intentionally, Kareem Lopez will play in Summer League.
Right.
They said Kareem Lopez remains on track to play in Summer League. But you know what? You know about the main thing about being on track for something, right? You know what can happen.
Yeah,
you can get off track.
That's true.
You can get off track. So if Kareem Lopez plays in Summer League, then you just say, "Well, we told you he was on track, and we told you he was on track to play, and then he played, just like we said." And then if he doesn't play, you say, "Well, he was on track to play, but then something knocked him off that track. Tinged something, little hamstring." Felt something. We just decided it wasn't worth it. And then he just got off the track. Another good word, if you're a reporter or in public relations, one of the best words, expect is expected. Great phrase. Because you ready for this? John Calipari is expected to leave Kentucky, be the next head coach at Arkansas. That sounds like you just nailed that story, right? Mm-hmm. But you left yourself some wiggle room just in case it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, he was expected to do that. Oh, but he didn't do it. You were wrong. No, I wasn't wrong. I said he was expected to do that. He was expected. Everybody was expecting that. Ask him. And then he changed his mind, and he didn't do it. Don't speak in absolutes. Don't report in absolutes.
Yeah.
Don't update the status of Kareem Lopez in absolutes, which they did not. He's on track to play in Summer League. Yeah. I assume that he will, but if he doesn't, that'll just mean that he got off track for one reason or another.
I really hope we get to see him, and the reason being is because I think where he was drafted, he's one of the bigger outside of people that cover the sport on a day-to-day basis. He's one of the bigger mysteries in the first round of that draft.
He's one of the only guys who didn't play college basketball,
and it was a great college basketball season, and a lot of the guys that were drafted around him were guys that were playing in the NCAA tournament and guys that we're familiar with. And so, yeah, I think as a Grizzlies fan, you just want to see him and see what it looks like because he's kind of a bit of a mystery, I would say. I'm excited about him, and I want to see him, yeah.
Everybody does. And, the morning after night 1 of the draft, we were talking about this, and I told you, I don't have any grand opinions about Kareem Lopez. He's a teenager. We'll see where it goes from here. But if you were just trying to sell excitement, it's much easier to sell somebody who shot 42% from 3 in the Big 12 and scored 24 points one night on Big Monday to an American fan base because people are familiar with that.
Right.
They've seen that. They've watched that. Kareem Lopez is a international prospect who didn't play college basketball, who 99.9% of Grizzlies fans have never seen play at all. And so it's a harder sell. maybe not a hard sell at all, but harder than selling a college player that everybody was fired up about leading into the draft. Still, it also makes him a more intriguing thing because it's like, all right, let's see it. And then you go to Utah and it's like, not yet. For people who don't know, it's a hamstring issue suffered in the pre-draft process. So he was banged up before he got here. It ain't our fault this time. And so then you're like, all right, no, not in Utah. Maybe he'll play in Las Vegas. And he hasn't so far through 3 games. But the update from a team official last night was that he is on track to make his Summer League debut at some point in Las Vegas. We'll see if it's tomorrow night.
And then the other guys, like I don't know. And when I was talking about it with Jessica this morning, I was like, and if that's the last we see of Cam Boozer this summer, like I feel really good about it. I feel like we got a nice little sample size there to be happy about. I'm not convinced it's gonna be the last time we see him, just because they may want to go out and win this thing. Like that last possession last night, they scored when the game was over because they're trying to run the points up because of the point differential for the playoff seeding in Summer League. And so they still like very much want to get to the playoffs in Summer League. And if they do, then we'll see. Maybe they do keep running those guys out there.
I'll say what I said yesterday, which is if they shut it all down right now and just be like, we're done with Cameron Boozer, we're done with Cedric Coward, we're going to get back, and whatever happens with Kareem Lopez happens with Kareem Lopez, but we've seen enough and we're going to get back home feeling good about ourselves and healthy, fine with me. If they push it and just, and I shouldn't even say push it, if they just play basketball, which is their jobs.
Right.
we've been
They're going to be doing a lot of these come October.
We've been conditioned to think it's crazy that basketball players play basketball.
Right.
So I shouldn't say if they want to push it and do their jobs. If they decide to keep playing, then I'll understand that as well. The only thing I'll say is you can't speak out both sides of your mouth and then have revisionist history and all this stuff. So if everybody's going to be comfortable, if you're going to sit out there saying, I don't mind if Cameron Boozer keeps playing, if something bad happens, you can't then say, what are they doing? Because you were okay with it. This is my rule in life. This is my rule in life, including sports, but life. Let's talk about something. Let's reach a conclusion. And then those are the stakes. Let's not Monday morning quarterback it the next day. If we were cool about how this was going to go down yesterday, then we got to be cool if it went down the way we talked about. We can't be talking about, if you're cool with Cameron Boozer and Cedric Coward continuing to play in Summer League, even though other franchises would clearly not do it, then if something goes wrong, you can't start yelling and screaming. If you got a problem with it, say it now. You got a problem with it?
I mean, I don't need a Summer League championship. We already got one of those. I don't need it. But sure, I'd love to see Cam Boozer play again. Like if I get a chance to watch him play this summer again, I'm gonna be fired up about it.
Here's where I'm at. My official stance. I'm okay with it. I don't know if it's what I would do. I don't know if I would keep playing them. If only because I'd be like, it's a little bit like, you want to hit your driver off this tee, it'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
Or you could just take a little iron, put it out in the fairway, play it safe. You'd probably be fine either way.
Yeah.
But you could play it safe. And then you put your driver into the woods, you're out of bounds, taking a penalty, and I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew I shouldn't have done that. The reason I probably wouldn't go any further with it is because I would be scared of putting my drive out of bounds and going, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Okay? Well, but here's my official stance. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. For all the reasons we've already established, we're okay with it. That means I am not allowed, if something goes wrong, to come in here and say, what were they doing? But it also means if you're okay with it, you working wherever you work or sitting at home or driving around, it also means if you're okay with it right now, you have to be okay with it no matter what happens.
Very true. Caleb Wilson would think you're crazy for talking like this, by the way.
Well, AJ DeBonsa would think I'm smart.
That's true.
So that's true. So this is I think underlines what we're talking about. Different franchises would handle this differently. I think right now I'd be done. But I'm totally cool with them not being done. But me being cool, so publicly cool with them not being done, I forfeit the right to say anything about it other than, damn damn, that sucks.
Yeah, right.
If something goes bad. That's
Yes.
all. That's all I'll be reduced to.
Fair enough.
I'll be reduced to, all I can say is, man, that stinks. But I told you I was okay with it. I knew the risk involved, but I told you I was okay with it. That's my official stance. I will come in here and cry if something goes wrong, but I won't be mad. I'll cry, but I won't call for anybody's job.
I'd cry too.
I'll just cry, okay?
Just don't even put it in the air.
I'll just cry because different franchises would handle this different ways.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards have already shut down DeBonce after 2 games, and he didn't play in Utah. I mean, it's just 2 games. At this point, Boozer's played, what, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'd shut DeBonce down after 2. Caleb Wilson, on the other hand, he sounds like he wants to play in all the games. Like if he could play for the Bulls and then play for another team later on in the day, and then play for the Bulls again tomorrow, and then another team, and then maybe play a 3rd game in 3 days. He sounds like he wants to play all the time. I heard you badmouth him. I heard you.
I'm just a little annoyed.
I heard you badmouthing him this morning.
I saw his interview, and he's like, I mean, I just, I thought Darren was gonna play, and I was like,
but you ready? It is true. He came out and got 35 against Cameron Boozer, or against the Grizzlies.
Yep.
Led by Cameron Boozer.
Yeah, he did not get 35 against Cameron Boozer. Let's get that. He scored like 2 points on Cameron Boozer.
I rephrased.
Yeah.
Cameron Boozer got like all of his on Caleb Wilson.
Correct. Yes. The game within the game. Yeah.
But Caleb Wilson got 35 against the Grizzlies. And then I'm not saying anything other than this is true. DeBonce didn't play against him. Peterson did not play against him. It's just true.
It is true.
And you know what? It's probably got literally nothing to do with Caleb Wilson. But if you're wired like Caleb Wilson, wouldn't you like to think it's because of me? If you're Caleb Wilson sitting in your 5-star hotel out in Vegas, aren't you sitting around going, oh, I'm the 4th pick in the draft, huh? Mm-hmm. I'm the 4th pick in the draft because I couldn't shoot.
Well,
I'm the 4th pick in the draft because I couldn't shoot. Okay, 7 of 11 from 3 against the 3rd pick in the draft and his Grizzlies teammates. 35 points. All right. Who's next? Bring me DeBonce. Oh, he's shut down. All right, who's next? Bring me Peterson. Oh, no, he's not playing tonight. Wouldn't you feel that way? I know I would.
Well,
I feel that way right now. I'm fired up right now.
We know he loves a slight. Now, the thing that I said to JB was he didn't even play one of these pre-summer leagues. Like
neither did DeBonce.
Okay, but Peterson and Boozer both did. They both played in Utah, and Boozer's still playing.
Are you ready? I hope I'm being clear. I think A.J. DeBonce not playing against Caleb Wilson and Darren Peterson not playing against Caleb Wilson have nothing to do with Caleb Wilson. It's the Wizards doing what they think is best for the Wizards and A.J. DeBonce, and it's the Jazz doing what they think is best for Darren Peterson and the Utah Jazz. My point is, if you're Caleb Wilson, and you already walk around with a chip on your shoulder. Mm-hmm. You already spent months people saying, yeah, it's a 4-player draft, and they all got a chance to be great, but he's 4th.
And he puts the guys on his screensaver.
Yes,
remember that? Don't forget that story.
Yeah. Don't forget when North Carolina played Kansas, this dude said, I put Darren Peterson on my screen. He's my screensaver. Uh-huh. They said, why? He said, because I want to be reminded of the dude who wouldn't pass me the ball in the McDonald's All-American game. This is who we're dealing with. I love it. I'm not saying he's right to feel the way I'm certain he feels. I'm just saying I know he feels that way. And I would too. Oh, it's a 4. You think you're complimenting me the whole time? Mm. Oh, this is a 4-player draft, and they could all be future. This is all Caleb Wilson heard the entire pre-draft process. This is all he heard. This is a best freshman class ever. 4-player draft at the top, and they could all be great. But he's clearly 4th. But he's 4th.
Yeah.
Because DeBonce is amazing. Peterson's Kobe. Cameron Boozer is the best winner ever. He's 4th. He's a great athlete, but he's 4th because he can't shoot. That's all he heard. And then he went 4th, just like everybody said. Go read the pre-draft stuff. The safest prediction in the whole thing is Caleb Wilson's going 4th. Why? Because it's a 4-player draft, and you're clearly the 4th best of the 4. All right. Okay. I'm the 4th best of the 4 because I can't shoot. Got it. Let's go. First game, 7 of 11 from 3 against the dude picked directly in front of you. All right, who's next? Bring me DeBonce. Let's go. Oh, he's not playing. Bring me Peterson. Let's go. He's not playing. They all duck me. I promise you he feels that way. So if he starts talking about he's built different, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I love Caleb Wilson.
I know you do. I like him. I'm a fan too. I'm a laugh when he has 40 points and an L to the Grizzlies, and Cam Boozer has like the most efficient double-double you've ever seen in your life.
It's going to be a 17-point, 12 rebound, 10 assist triple-double.
I cannot wait.
For Cameron Boozer.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Caleb Wilson's going to get all his empty stats.
Give it to me.
I heard you hating on Caleb Wilson this morning.
It wasn't hating. It was more just, come on.
In all seriousness, jokes aside, I love the way he talks. I love the way he talks about himself. I love the way he seems to motivate himself. Every interview I see with him, I walk away impressed. And like, that's the way I like to hear a guy talk. It doesn't come across to me like he's just being young and arrogant or young and cocky. It's like, no, I kill these guys. I beat these guys. And they still talk about me like there was no scenario where I could be better than them. I'm clearly the fourth of four. He's always thinking in these ways. And then he's doing it. He's doing it. I don't mind the words. I like the words. I like the words.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch those four guys' careers just play out. Like it's going to be fun to see.
This is
if it slots that way, 5-6 years from now.
I will say, because Vernon, I don't want to tell Vernon secrets, but he and I end up in this conversation when he pops in here. But like, he said he talked to somebody from somewhere, and they were like, when we did some backgrounds, like you just heard nothing but great things about Caleb Wilson when you start talking to people. And I took that to somebody who worked in grassroots basketball. In other words, somebody who's known him since he was like 15 years old. And I was like, does that line up to you? And they said there was a moment with maybe USA Basketball where he seemed to get humbled a little bit. Like, he was always talking like, I'm different than everybody and I'm the best. And there was a moment where just in his prep career where it was just like, hey, maybe you're not what you think you are. And that seemed to trigger something in him, flip a switch or something. There was somebody who's known him since he was 15 who said there was a moment where he failed, or at least it was starting to look like you're not who you think you are. And rather than let that, he responded to that really positively. And this is the byproduct of it. What you've seen out in Las Vegas is the byproduct of it. So he's been awesome. We'll see if he continues to play out in Las Vegas, but it sounds like if he could play in every single game that they have in both Cox Pavilion and Thomas and Mack, that's what they should do. They should just let Caleb Wilson just run from court to court. Just be like, check me in. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
He can just play in every game. That's what he wants to do. He's built different. That's what he says.
Okay.
All right. Chris Vernon's up next.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Everybody says about you, they're like, he wins at every level, right? He won in high school, he won in AAU, he won in college. Just explain to me how. Like, what is winning basketball?
I think it's just showing up every day. I don't cheat the game. I show up, I work, I have high energy, great coaching. First and foremost, I've always been surrounded by great coaches and players who really want to buy in and win. People talk about my winning, but you can't do that without a team.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit Grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's Grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Wednesdays in the second segment, I'm joined by Chris Vernon, host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. Hey, Chris Vernon.
Here I am.
Hey, we were talking about Caleb Wilson first. I don't mean to tell your secrets. I apologize if I was out of line, but you told me that you were talking to somebody who works in the NBA, and Caleb Wilson came up, and they were like, man, we talk to people about him, and you just hear almost nothing but like great things. Can you expand on that?
Every single person I talk to about that. So originally, I had heard that from like this basketball trainer who has somebody that coaches in Chapel Hill, and they had told me, because of course I was like just kind of doing due diligence, what people thought, because I thought the Boozer Wilson thing was going to become a much bigger debate than it ever did. It just became kind of matter of fact with everybody's mock drafts and everything else. By the time, really probably
I'll tell you, I'll interrupt, but I'll tell you exactly what I heard when I was calling around on this after the lottery was set. Here's what I heard. It's debatable what they should do at 3. Zach Kleiman is taking Cameron Boozer. Yeah. That's what I heard from everybody.
Yeah, the analytic thing was crazy on Boozer. I actually, no lie, I actually had somebody from another team tell me, now I don't know if they have any information or not, that they thought that the Grizzlies board might have been Boozer Wilson.
That's what I said the same thing. Somebody told me that. Multiple people told me that. They said, I don't know if it's true, but I believe that that their board, this is the way they said it, was Boozer, Wilson, DeBonsa, Peters.
That would not be all that shocking.
Not to me.
And all 4 of them, that's the biggest takeaway from Summer League. So, back to the Caleb Wilson thing. Yeah, just that, like, you do your due diligence on these guys, and nothing came back bad about him. Like, it was just all. But that is also true of, Boozer as well, right? Like, it was just like, I had so many people come up to me in Las Vegas who were like,
I guess we just knew.
You actually couldn't go wrong.
Right. I guess we just knew you weren't going to hear anything bad about Boozer.
Right.
And you don't know about Wilson. And, But when you ask people, it's like, oh, no, he's great.
No,
he's great.
The best. They loved him in the program.
The only thing I heard, because I took this to somebody else, and they were like, I heard he's not very good in practice. And I was like, okay, well, okay. That would have been Q Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Right. That was like, I heard he's not very good in practice. I'm like, okay, I care about the games more.
Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say I don't care, but like.
Oh, who cares? Yeah. Seriously.
Here's the thing about NBA teams. Once the season starts, they don't practice.
Let me tell you something, too. The greatest player in Memphis Grizzlies history was its worst practice player. You think Zebo gave a flying crap about practice? Isaiah Thomas literally said it on the Summer League broadcast when they brought in Zach a couple years ago. He's like, Zebo, I loved coaching Zebo, but he was the worst practice player. And he doesn't care about that.
There's a podcast.
The lights come on, he's ready to go.
There's a podcast clip, I think, of Chandler Parsons asking David Fizdale if he knew Zebo kept a cell phone in his sock during practice.
Zebo, bro, come on. I remember years ago, somebody in the front office told me there's practice Zebo, there's game Zebo, there's national TV Zebo, there's playoff Zebo.
Yes.
And they go in order, and it will raise every step of the way.
That's right.
Every step of the way it will get raised. But anyways, no. Wilson, the reviews on him were unbelievable. And I think that's like and when we were talking about the board, I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's like this was set for so long in most people's eyes, whether it was mock drafts and what's interesting is even after the lottery was set, because that can be totally randomized, you can get into a situation where it's like, oh, okay, well, it's going to be duplicated too much, right? Like, I mean, it would have been interesting to see like what Utah does if they were in our position or the next position, right? When they've got, not that they would take a guard necessarily, but maybe they do trade back because they've got marketing and they've got Jaron, depending on what they want to do with them. And I know that's how teams make mistakes, obviously the old, Jordan Drexler thing and whatever. But we also know that the way the draft goes, it is sometimes dependent on, like, I just drafted this guy, so like I'm not going to take another point guard, right? When I just drafted my franchise point guard a year ago or whatever else. So it could have been totally random with the way the lottery played out. Instead, they went 1, 2, 3, 4, and everybody just said, oh, well, that makes sense there, that makes sense there, that makes sense there, that makes sense there. And then it all played out. And, I think you walk away from this all going
they all looked the part.
All of them could have been number one.
Yes.
And would have been number one in other seasons. Maybe not last year with Flag, but they all would have gone number 2 probably last year. Well, maybe not with Harper. Maybe not with Dylan Harper. I mean, because people were very, very high on him. But certainly over Ace Bailey, probably over Con Knipple. And then you go back 2 years, all of them would have gone before Risa Shea.
Yes.
All of them.
No, like
in
easily.
Other seasons, these are 4 number 1 caliber players.
And here's the other thing. I think heading into the draft, I and others said, we'll rank them. We can rank them in whatever. I'll rank them. I got an order. You got an order. We can all have an order. But regardless of my order of those 4, I could see any of them emerging as the best player from this draft. And I think it's even more true today than it was on the night of the draft because we've seen them all pop. Like everybody, it just defies logic to not at least leave open the possibility that Cameron Boozer could be the best player from this draft. He was the best player in high school, the best player in college. He had the best analytical profile. He could easily be the best. DeBonsa went 1, could easily be the best. The Peterson stuff, we've seen it's not hard to imagine. And then with what you've seen from Caleb Wilson, it's like, good God, it could be him. It could be any of them.
It could. I mean, they're all unbelievable. And it's hard to imagine that we look up and like, because you were waiting for one of them to struggle. Right. Which one is it? I was just bigger, stronger, faster on that level. It's not really going to translate. And I've thought about this a lot. And I think that you would have a better reference point than me. That I do wonder, because of NIL, because of guys staying like a 5th and 6th year, so you're playing against adults in many cases, right? Like some of these teams are like legitimately like filled with men on their team. That if you come in and you are unbelievable as a freshman, it's not the guesswork that it used to be. That if you are unbelievable as a freshman,
you're playing against awesome older dudes.
Yes, because the competition level
no question.
Is so great that it's like, bro, there ain't the guesswork that there used to be, even when it was Ayton and Bagley and Jaron and that group, right?
You ready? Let's just put some numbers on it. Roughly the best 70 or 80 players in college basketball every year left.
Yes.
Because it was like, unless you're taking it under the table, like it's time to go be a professional. And if you were going to be picked anywhere, you go. Right. Get on with it. Now, especially going forward.
Yes.
If you're not one of the 10 or 15 like best prospects, you have to seriously come back to school. And I would advise you, stay in school as long as you can.
Well, and I remember you bringing this up because I was watching this kid, I don't know if it was last night or the night before, about a guy that was very highly recruited, and you told the story about, or I think
Coa Pete?
No, I think this was off the air rather than on the air. No, you were telling the story about Bray Mullins, the kid at UConn, and I think the reference point was you can go, but look at Liam McNeely. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I was watching McNeely the other night. The guy is like shooting fireballs.
Yes.
Right? And he's probably going to be a role player and get to play for the Hornets this year. But he spent basically all of last year for the Greensboro Swarm.
Of course, yeah.
Whoever it was, right? He just didn't get to play, and that was one of the things you said. It's like, that is a perfect example. That guy was on an amazing team.
Yeah.
He got drafted.
Yeah.
But he spent basically his whole first year.
Ask him if he had fun.
Right. Whereas he could have made a fortune staying at UConn and probably won another national championship.
And I think at that, it was only a year, but when he left, it wasn't as obvious as it is today. Oh, no, you could make $7 million in college. Now everybody knows it, in part because of Braylon Mullins. And it's my favorite story of the pre-draft. After he hit that crazy three in the Elite Eight to send UConn to the Final Four, I happened to do a sit-down with his parents at the Final Four. Me, Adam Zucker, mom and dad. And they mic us up, lights, makeup, all that stuff. And we got like 20 minutes for just sitting there before we're going to roll the cameras. So we're just talking. Oh, how you been? Like, they're from there. So it was like, how many people are you going to have? All the basic questions. And so we're just talking. I will never speak for the family because I don't think they've ever said anything about this publicly. I won't speak for them. I will just tell you that at some point I was like, so is there any chance you're coming back to school? And I was left with the impression there was no chance.
You're right.
Because they had already said, we've seen all the mock. He was always going to be a one and done.
Yep.
He's in the teens. He's in the late lottery. I was left with the impression our college career is over when this is done.
When you look at these other guys, Grady Dick, Johnny Furphy, he would have gone the same route as them probably.
So do you know what happens next? The season ends, and then Dan Hurley sits down with them, and he says, listen, you can do whatever you want to do. You want to leave? Why? Because you think you're a lottery pick? You are, probably. I can't say if it's 14. You might slip to 17, but 100% you're getting picked. Now, let me show you what you're going to make. What's the best case you think? 13? What's the worst? 19? Let's look at all those. It's all rookie scales.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who your teammate's going to be. You don't know who your friends are going to be. But if you're picked in this range, it's probably by a team that and you're probably not. You're also very skinny. I mean, let's just be honest with each other.
Yeah.
You're going to be in.
It's going to take a minute.
It's going to take a minute. You're going to probably bounce back and forth to G League, and to the extent you're in the NBA, you're coming off the bench. Now let me tell you what I can offer you. Do whatever you want.
All right.
Here's $5 million. This is more money.
Yeah.
For 30-something games than you'll make 80-something games. Also, you're going to be a first-team All-American.
King of the campus.
Sold-out arenas, private planes. You getting that G League, buddy. You were in 32B Delta Flight connected in Atlanta. We done nothing but private planes at UConn. Sold-out arenas, national TV twice a week. What do you want to do? It's not even a hard decision.
I think with that said, it's a lot harder to draft busts.
There you go. So to circle back to where you are.
If you were good in college, it means way more now.
So guess what? In a different 10 years ago, we look at college, I'd have to do an All-American team, and every guy's a new player because all the All-Americans from last year are gone. So you'd just be playing against a bunch of guys we hadn't seen before. That's what college basketball was,
yes.
a bunch of new people.
Yep.
Now, you get into the Big East as a freshman, you go ball out against Braylon Mullins. We already know what Braylon Mullins is.
Right.
So now you're killing him. Okay, that's real.
That's
Same thing. You're in the SEC. We know what Thomas Houck is.
Right.
Florida got him back for the exact same reasons. Lots of money. You'll have more fun doing this. You go take it to him. We already know what he is.
Well, a perfect example, right? So I look at that kid, the Bama kid, who I love, Phylon, right? Yeah. So you go back and look at the year before, and they're in the SEC tournament. And Walter Clayton Jr. and that crew, they busted their ass. And Phylon did nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Right? Come back the next year, Phylon's the guy.
That's right.
Now he's busting people up.
The only reason he came back is because of lots of money. It's the only reason.
But he had played against Florida and whatever and gotten busted up.
Yeah.
And he wasn't dominant. But then he came back the next year and it's okay. Now,
different guy.
And again, your sample size grows. So that development got to take place in college in a way that you would just take a flyer on him in the NBA.
You got to see, I don't know exactly how many games, but let's just call it, you got to see 70 instead of 35.
Yes.
Yeah, that matters. Ask anybody. It matters a lot.
Well, and they're getting now they can safely make that choice.
Yeah. Or at least more safely than they previously could.
Well, they go and somebody tells them hey man, you're getting drafted in the second round.
Oh yeah.
Well, now you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's but my option is not
go to the second round or come back to school for free.
Yeah,
my option is get drafted in the second round or come back to school for $4 million.
And that's why, like, I had this conversation with multiple coaches last week in Vegas. Like, you're going to see guys who are like freshman All-American. Like, you ready for this? You're going to see guys who are going to be freshman All-American, projected 23rd in the draft, and then they're going to come back to school for $5 million. Yep. And the next year they're going to be like 19th in the draft, and they're just going to come back to school for $7 million. Yep. And they're going to make $40 million before they leave school. That is going to be a real thing. You're going to see 5-year college basketball player leaving school with college career earnings of $40 million.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and awesome. And it makes college basketball better. I know there's
it's not sustainable though.
Why?
It's not. It won't be sustainable. Because everybody will end up crying poor. That's the way.
Well, they're already doing that.
I know that's the way this always goes.
Yeah, but
that's what they do. They'll cry poor.
But here's what's hilarious.
Well,
you know
also,
who's crying poor? Kurt Signetti.
Well, but then also what will happen, inevitably, is that if everybody starts doing it at that rate, right, and the number keeps going up, and this is the cost of doing business and whatever, well, there's a cost of business that goes along with every other team that comes along, and that leads to 99% of these rich people feeling like they did not get the return on investment that the guy at Michigan got.
That's
and so they're like,
too.
to hell with this. That's why I'm saying it's not sustainable. But it's all funded by private places.
Sure.
And these private places, if you are not, they're not going to keep spending $40 million on rosters that don't get to Final Fours.
Okay, I hear you, but you ready? As long as it's allowed, somebody is going to keep doing it. So, and then you have to make the choice whether you're frustrated or not.
Right?
Do we want to keep up or not? So you
they'll just fire coaches. And again, it'll just be a
cycle. The next market correction is not going to be player salaries coming down. It's going to be coaching salaries coming down. This is still the real, like, it's just flipped upside down and nobody talks about it. In the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, the coaches, managers all make less than the best players.
Yeah.
They all, Tomas Isolo makes a fraction of what the best Grizzlies make, of what all of the Grizzlies make.
Right.
But in college, Kurt Signetti still makes $13 million a year. There ain't no Indiana football player sniffing that. The next one, this is why I tell the coaches all the time, you could just shut up. You're still so on the right side of this.
Yeah.
Whenever college athletics figures out what professional athletics figured out from the jump, which is that the players are worth more than the coaches.
Yeah, but that'll only happen if the players unionize.
Well,
because that's the difference, Gary. Like, I mean, you could say that, but the coach is still the one that's going to be there and the most important. As long as you're going to allow players to transfer in, transfer out, at willy-nilly, whatever.
They're only transferring in and out because you're allowing them to. You could write it in the contract. You ready? The University of Memphis could tomorrow sign a basketball player to a 5-year contract with no transfer options. Right. I mean, there's outside, so you could sign them for 5 years if you want to. Like, everything's in play. And what the point I'm trying to make is, somebody is always, as long as it's allowed, and maybe when it's not.
Yeah, but
somebody's going to be willing to keep throwing money.
But there is a finite amount of time which makes your coach infinitely more valuable in college. Your roster changes every single year. Your coach doesn't, right? For the Grizzlies,
well, in professional
Tomas
sports,
Isolo is literally going to have a completely different roster this year than he had last year.
Well, sounds like college to me.
Huh?
Sounds like college to me.
What I'm saying, though, is generally, that is not the case.
Here's what I'm saying. I understand why you believe coaches are the most important, because they in college have forever been, for all of the obvious reasons. I'm just saying, why does it have to be that way going forward if you can actually buy players and sign them to 5-year contracts? You can't. That's all you can sign NBA players to. Like, we only think coaches are the most important because they've always been. I'm just saying, in this new model where you can literally spend whatever you want on a basketball team, I would argue the players, if you give me $30 million to buy a basketball team, and I can have a $2 million coach and win the whole thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I
You believe that with Dusty May? You believe that with Dan Hurley? You believe that with...
I believe you give...
Do you think those guys... I mean, I know they got good players, but I mean, like a Rick Pitino, I mean, there's a reason that these coaches are the coaches that they are.
I believe the coaches...
They get the players.
The money's getting the players now. You can ask Dan Hurley and Rick Pitino what gets the players. It ain't them anymore. It's the money. Like Dan, I don't want to speak for Dan Hurley, but Dan was like, I guess Dan was like, I don't even text anymore. Like, I don't, like, the recruiting is like all the stuff we used to have to do. Yeah. I don't have to do.
Well, they still have to evaluate the players.
Of course. I
mean, it's not just I give you money and you come to my school.
But I'll tell you what it mostly is. I'm telling you, I talk to guys who have won national championships, and this is how they talk about recruiting now. This is what I had one such coach say to me. Here's how I used to recruit. Texting every day, flying in, meeting mom, dad, over years, getting to know you. Here's how I recruit now. I evaluate you. I decide if I like you as a player. Then we schedule the official visit. I want to bring you and your family in. I want to get to know you and see how that is. And then I want to hear your number. What's the number? And then I want to decide if we got that. And if so, is it worth it? And that's recruiting. That is what he's saying. That's what coaches say.
And all I'm saying is Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic or whoever is going to be at those franchises forever. And that's why when I was walking around, when you're walking around, Michael Malone is no longer the coach of the Nuggets, and it's fine. And Mike Budenholzer is no longer coach of the Bucks, and that's fine, and whatever. But like Fernando Mendoza is now playing for the Raiders, and Kurt Cignetti is still there. And guess what? Indiana will still be awesome. Like, I mean, you're in these other sports. Generally, that's why your players are so much more important, because your players, your awesome ones, are going to be there for 8 to 12, 15 years.
Where? Not here.
Not here, but I mean, even with Zebo and that crew, they went to 7 straight playoffs, whatever. We had 3 different coaches.
All right, let's agree to settle in the middle, somewhere in the middle, because I think this is true. If you want to make the argument that coaches will forever be more important in college athletics than players, that's fine, whatever.
Less important than they used to be.
It's not it's not as dramatic as it used to be.
Of course,
and,
I agree with that.
And that I think that market will correct at some point. The coaches right now that are screaming, these players maybe don't need to be making this much money.
I think you just brought up a bad example with Cignetti, because the guy's like, you literally took Indiana and turned them into a national champion.
No, I didn't bring him up as
literally the worst program in the country.
I didn't bring him up as an example for that reason. I brought him up as an example as he's like literally a guy who has verbalized, this is not sustainable. And it's like, I promise you, buddy, they figured out how to take you from a $5 million a year coach to a $13 million coach just like that.
Yeah.
Well,
he's having to compete with Michigan and Ohio State.
I know, but I guess what I'm saying is people keep screaming it's not sustainable, but the numbers go up every year, and they keep getting paid every year. So, like, eventually someday maybe we'll hit.
It'll burst.
Maybe, but it just hadn't happened yet, and it doesn't seem like we're there yet. Yeah. So, we'll see.
Maybe.
All right. Get over your big studio.
I'm out of here.
All right. I'll see you later. That's Chris Vernon. Chris Vernon's show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. When we come back, we're turning our attention to soccer. I saw Bennett sitting over there yesterday. I thought you was just sitting over there depressed. You were like this.
No, I was locked in.
I was going to come over there and like put my arm around you and be like, man, are you all right? Is everything okay?
You need to talk, buddy.
I feel like maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to you lately, and I needed to ask you how you've been. But instead, you were just locked in on Spain and France.
Yep.
2-0 victory for Spain. That's the 4th most populous European Union.
Is that true?
Yeah, I read it on Wikipedia last night. I hope it's true, because if the stuff on Wikipedia is not true, I'm screwed, because that's to the extent I know anything, it's straight from Wikipedia.
I could name the other 3 easily. France, the United Kingdom, would you say Great Britain? How do we classify that one in this?
I'm not the one who said I could do it easily.
France, Great Britain, and Germany.
You ready for this?
3.
You ready for this teaser?
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll see if Bennett knows what are the 4 most populous unions in Europe. We know that Spain is number 4. Bennett thinks he knows the top 3. We'll see if he's right. Then we'll talk soccer. That's next on the Gary Parrish Show.
Pressure-packed moment in sports, hands down, has to be shootout in the World Cup. Because I am a casual fan of the beautiful game called football. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to throw up for all of these teams, for every kick.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What do you bring to the table? Like, you want people to describe Kareem Lopez, the basketball player. What do you want to hear?
I feel like I'm just a winning player, you know, someone that's going to contribute to winning, a competitor, you know, a high IQ player, you know, someone that's going to play the right way. And yeah, like I said, like the first thing I said, just contribute to winning.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit Grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's Grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Congratulations to Spain. A 2-0 victory over France in Tuesday's World Cup semifinals to advance to the final that'll be played Sunday in East Rutherford, New Jersey, at what we normally call MetLife Stadium, but don't call it that during the World Cup for reasons that are sponsorship related, I guess. They will either face Argentina or England in the title game. As you were locked in on your little iPhone yesterday watching a football match, what'd you make of the 2-0 victory?
I mean, dude, Spain's just been so good this whole tournament. Only allowed 1 goal the entire tournament. You know, France has been amazing, and to shut them out, like, that's pretty unbelievable. I think Mbappe scored in like every match for France. So yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. And they're obviously, you know, one of their stars, Yamal, is 19 years old, which is crazy. I think they're going to win this thing. I think they're probably going to win this thing.
We'll see on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait for today, first of all.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Also very confused.
Why is that?
Our European country rankings are all messed up.
Yeah, what about, okay, so I said, what was Spain is the 4th? What was it you said before we went to break?
Okay, like I'm just going to, if we have to expose Wikipedia, then we have to expose Wikipedia. Okay. Here's what, somebody's wrong, you tell me who. It might be me. If it's me, tell me it's me. This is what I read last night. Spain is the largest country in Southern Europe and the fourth most populous European Union member state. Okay, this is the problem. It's me.
It's the EU. Yeah,
I was the problem. Fourth most populous in the EU, but not the fourth most populous in Europe. Two different things.
Yes,
that's on me. I messed it up.
So if we're going by EU, I think my ranking was right. I'm gonna go.
If we're going by
England, France, Germany, Spain.
If we're going by EU, it would be Germany, United Kingdom 2, France 3.
Let's go. That's still, hey, guy got the top 4 right.
Italy 4.
Oh.
And Spain 5. The problem's, okay. I read it wrong. That part's on me. But even if I read it right, AI overview from Google and Wikipedia are contradicting each other.
Yeah, I gotcha. I don't
know how many people are in Spain. I probably should not even got into this. But according to AI overview, do you actually know what is the most populous country in Europe?
Is it, I mean, I would still say England.
You should say Russia.
Oh, okay.
143 million. But that's before the war. I think they lose like,
I was going to say,
I think they lose like 1 million people a day. Did you see that buddy the other day? He was trying to shoot that gun, and it went like...
that was crazy. Woo! That was like Looney Tunes.
It was like Looney Tunes.
He was like...
It was like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that was wild.
They're wild over there. They're wild over there in that war.
His comrades were like, oh.
His comrades were like, yo, that's enough, buddy. Wouldn't it be... It's wild. Like, I think that... I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I read like Russia is losing an inordinate amount of people every day in that war. Like if you cared about your people at all, you'd be like, we got a problem. But I don't think they do. So maybe it's not a problem. None of my business. I don't think it's any of my business. Maybe it is my business. Anyway, World Cup final is going to be on Sunday. Spain has already advanced. Do you find them boring? I saw somebody tweet this yesterday. They said Spain's awesome but boring.
For sure. I mean, watching that yesterday, I even said to like the guys up here afterwards, I was like, "Oh, that was boring." It was boring. They're just a great defensive team, right? And so that sometimes can be boring.
But they have Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, he's fun.
19 years old.
He's fun.
Superstar. Celebrated his 19th birthday just 2 days ago.
Yeah,
on Sunday he was 18. On Monday he turned 19. On Tuesday, he nearly scored, but they called it back.
I'm gonna need the GOAT to knock him down a notch, because he's the future. He's the future. All right.
It certainly seems like it.
He's the future. He's already won Euro. Like he might be on his way to win his first World Cup. He's the future. But this tournament's about the GOAT.
One more for Messi.
Come on, man.
So you need Messi to get past England and Harry Kane.
Come on, man.
You don't care about Jude.
How are we not rooting for that? I mean, this show is.
What do you think most Americans are rooting for, England or Argentina?
Ooh.
Messi is just Messi. It's simple as that.
I think most Americans are rooting for Argentina, probably. Yeah.
It's just Messi. You root for Messi. He came to America to make soccer great for once.
Yeah.
He came to America to make soccer great for once. I don't know if he's done it, but he's still great. And so we root for that.
Yes.
Go Messi.
Yeah, they're underdogs today against England. But yeah, I would love to see that.
All right, well, we're going to get your pick. We're going to do that in carryout.
Okay, sounds good.
Number 2.
MLB All-Star Game was last night. Did you at least turn it on?
I turned it on, yeah. AL got the win.
Speaking of boring, it was that.
It was boring
It was kind of boring, but I stuck with it to the end. 4-0 victory for the American League. I like it when they put the mics on people and stuff.
Yep.
Did you see Kyle Schwarber with the mic? I appreciated it. I think sometimes people don't understand how difficult it can be to put an IFB in. I think sometimes you're probably watching and you see me messing with it every once in a time because it just pop out. And every once in a while it'll be sticking out. And I'll ask Bennett, I'll be like, hey, Bennett, if you ever see my IFB sticking out, let me know. Never does, has never done it even one time.
I know.
Not one time has he ever said your IFB sticking out, even though I've instructed him to do it 50,000 times. So Schwarber's in the box and he's got an IFB in and it came out and because I know what this is like, particularly the kind he was using. It came out and it was down his back like that. And And he's like trying to hit in a baseball game and trying to get this back in, and you start pulling the wrong cord. You just start messing up.
Yeah.
And he can't find it, and then he can't get it to stick here, and he's just struggling. And I was like, he needs an audio guy.
Yeah.
This is why we have Vic at the broadcast center. Shouts to Vic, man of the decade. This is why we have Vic at the broadcast center, because it's a little bit like your buttons.
Yeah.
You think it'd just be, just stick it in your stupid ear.
Right.
Just stick it in your stupid ear. You'd think it'd be easy. But you know what this is a little bit like? You remember what it was like trying to take a bra off for the first time, Bennett?
I mean, vaguely, but yeah.
Were you good at it, you think?
Probably not.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But you're pretty good at it now, I bet.
Sure.
Could you get a bra off in 3 seconds if you needed to?
Probably.
That's what I mean. You're better at it. Why? Experience.
Yeah.
I have experience with this. That's why I'm pretty good at it, right?
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, very little experience with IFBs. You could see it last night on TV.
Yeah. Love Schwarber. Again, like, it's just been riding with him all season. Can't hit a home run.
He's doing the best he can. He was heartbroken in the home run derby on Monday night. Did not homer last night. Nobody homered for the National League last night. Nobody scored for the National League last night. But you know who did homer? Miguel Vargas.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 26 years old, former Dodger, traded to the White Sox. He came up late last night. They didn't need this to secure the victory, but 433 feet home runs are fun to watch. Kyra, if you got it, let's watch Miguel Vargas crush one.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Absolutely destroyed by Miguel Vargas into the second deck.
I love that the immediate reaction is, oh, God.
Vargas, a first-time All-Star, one of the biggest surprises on the biggest surprise in the sport. And the Chicago White Sox tees off and makes it 4-0.
Kyra, we got to come back and just watch the very beginning of that again. I just love the, oh, God.
Oh, God. Absolutely destroyed by Miguel Vargas.
So how about him? I know you don't know him. Nobody knows him. 26 years old, former Dodger, got traded in 2024 to the White Sox, which is about the worst thing that could happen to you. Imagine going from the Dodgers to the White Sox. That's like going from, it's just tough.
That's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
One day you're a Dodger, the next day you're a White Sox. Tough. I don't know how you got here, buddy, but like something went wrong in your life.
Yeah.
If you wake up one day you're a Dodger and you wake up another day you're a White Sox, something has gone wrong in your life. I don't know exactly where it went wrong, but let's talk about it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's start digging. We'll figure out what. So he gets traded to the White Sox, and you might go, okay, that didn't want this, but this is where I'm going to jumpstart my career. Probably hard to get, I'm in the Dodgers organization. Going to be hard to get my footing out there with, all them dudes are like Mookie Betts and all these dudes hanging around. But now I didn't want to go to the White Sox, but this is my fresh start, and I'll show them. He hit 104, and he got traded to the White Sox and then hit 104. So like hitting 104 for a team that then went 60 and 102 last season. Things aren't going well. Now he's an all-star, 26 years old for the first time in his career, and he's an all-star for a team that is leading the AL Central.
That's wild.
With a record of 50 and 45. So as described in the broadcast, he is the biggest surprise on the biggest surprise in Major League Baseball. Nice story.
It is a cool story. When did the White Sox, didn't they win one in like the late 90s, early 2000s?
It's it is like described as the forgotten World Series.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like something funny about it. Like multiple times different networks have been like throw graphics up about like past World Series champion. And they're just not. It's not that they're like omitted incorrectly. Like that graphic as described should have the White Sox on it, but it doesn't because it's like they're the forgotten World Series champions.
Yeah.
So yes, they did win one time, but I don't remember when it was.
I know. I think it was.
You could probably Google that, but Google ain't working so well.
Yeah.
Lately, it got us all screwed up with Spain. Doesn't matter when the White Sox won a World Series. All that matters is that they were really bad not too long ago. So was Miguel Vargas. Now both Miguel Vargas and the White Sox are good, and I guess that's better.
05.
That's better on the South Side. Congratulations on their 05 World Series. Go Vargas. Go White Sox. I hate the Mets.
Number 3.
All right. You see the story?
What's up?
With Chelsea Gray? So the Indiana Fever, Las Vegas Aces, they played a game on Sunday. Of all, like, there's a million things going on in Vegas this weekend, and among them was, like, the Fever were in town.
Yeah.
And so
I think Devin and them went to one of the Aces games when they were there. Yeah.
I've never been to an Aces game, but I have been in that arena, Michelob Ultra, whatever. It's like a nice little sort of, smaller arena, but it's nice. So Chelsea Gray gets a direct message from a person that reads this way: "You suck ass, ugly ass, N-word." And then she, copied, pasted, posted it on social media and was like, you guys think we're just out here making this stuff up. This is really what we deal with. This is really something that somebody typed and sent to me. And needless to say, I think this person isn't going to have like and my name's John Johnson on Twitter.
Right.
It's a fake account and whatever.
Of course,
and
yeah.
whatever. And this is the way.
That's how the internet is now. Yep.
It is beyond my level of understanding why somebody would be compelled to make a fake social media account and verbally abuse strangers all day long. I can't grasp it. It makes no sense to me. But I'm aware that people do it. And so that's what this was. But we got a whole internet filled with people who really know how to dig in and trace this and look at this and IP address and whatever, and however they do it. I don't know how to do it. And they were able to find who this person is. They were able to trace this back, and they were like, we figured out this person works for Hilton Grand Vacations.
Dang.
And they were able to, like, collectively, the internet exposed this guy. And Hilton Grand Vacations fired him.
How about that?
How about that?
I mean, it's just like one of those reminders that that freedom of speech, it prevents you from going to jail.
There you go, Bennett.
But it don't prevent you from consequences.
There you go, Bennett.
Yes.
I think that amendment is one of the most misunderstood things by dumb Americans that exist. Maybe the most misunderstood. Other than the song Born in the USA. But I'm glad you got it right. That man ain't going to have to go to jail for tweeting that at Chelsea Gray, I don't think. Although with hate crimes and stuff, like,
Yeah.
But they can be consequences for you. If somebody around here tweeted that at a basketball player, they would be fired immediately.
Yep.
And that's what happened to this fella at Hilton Grand Vacations. And good. I don't ever like to see anybody's life ruined, but I don't mind it when it's so much when it's somebody like this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, why are you doing that?
Like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you?
Why are you trying to, like, hurt someone like
what,
that?
Like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, couldn't you have done, like, couldn't you just, like, watch TV?
Yeah.
Like, you could have, you had a moment in your day where you could do that, or you could have just, like, I don't know, texted your friend and just asked them how they were doing and, just check in on them, either one's just typing words. Why did you choose to do that when you could have done that? You could have tried to make somebody feel good. Why did you try to make somebody feel bad? You could have made somebody feel better about themselves. Why did you try to make them feel like they did something wrong? I mean, the quote was the quote. I don't think I need to repeat it. Like, what? Like, we're filled with that. Why?
Yeah.
And so I don't love everything about the internet, but I appreciate its ability to expose people who do things like this. The whole WNBA conversation's in a weird place right now, as we've discussed previously. But we should all be able to agree on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this shouldn't be the WNBA thing we pick our sides and argue about. And we should all be able to agree. Like, this is not okay. And athletes, nobody, but among nobody, athletes should not have to deal with stuff like this.
Right.
And if you're somebody who's ever sent something like that or ever even thought about it, just know that I hope you get caught. I hope you get caught. I hope if you do it, I hope you get caught and exposed, and I can talk about you losing your job someday too.
Number 4.
Oh, it's getting worse for Ward Manuel at Michigan.
What's up?
He's the athletic director, and there's a report from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, no.
that among the things, this $11 million, $12 million investigation that the university launched after the Sherrone Moore scandal literally ended up in, police records.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things this investigation has uncovered is that Ward Manuel was told about the relationship between Sherrone Moore and Paige Shivers before Sherrone Moore ever even coached his first game as the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. There was even a complaint made in Human Resources about the two of them working out together. So Ward Manuel has acknowledged some of this stuff in a radio interview. Like, you could tell he's fighting for his life because he went on radio. Mm-hmm. I promise you, every lawyer would say, don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
But he's fighting for his life. Like, if he doesn't know where this is headed, he's the only one who doesn't know. But he's out there fighting for his life. So he's on radio, and he's like, I'm supposed to fire people over allegations, over rumors? Rumors are rumors. If I don't have evidence, what am I supposed to do? And that's fine. I guess if you're going to talk about it, that's the best thing you could say. But here's the problem. When you have a complaint of an inappropriate relationship, and I want to be clear, that's what this is. Inappropriate relationship between coworkers with a power imbalance. That's what that is. That's the issue here. Nobody cares if Sherrone Moore was cheating on his wife, or at least I don't care because that's none of my business. I mean, like, wrap your arms around her. Those stories are always sad, but that's none of my business. That's not why Sherrone Moore lost his job. The reason he lost his job is because he was in an inappropriate relationship with a coworker where a power imbalance existed. And then when she cut it off, he lost his mind. Mm-hmm. All right. That's why he lost his job. But that's the issue here. It's not that he was unfaithful. Again, that's none of my business. It's none of Bennett's business. Nobody's business other than he and his wife and everybody else involved in that. But inappropriate relationship with a coworker who works under you where a power dynamic exists, you've got a problem there. So what we now know, Ward Manuel's not even denying, this was brought to him and his athletic department more than a year before everything blew up. And they just didn't do anything about it. And that's fine as long as nothing comes of it. But if it ever blows up and people start asking questions, they're going to take it right back to you. And so Ward Manuel's out there now like, what am I supposed to do? Go fire my football coach over some rumors? No, nobody's even suggesting that. But if you have a complaint in Human Resources and then you start asking other people around the program, other people who work in the building, hey, what do you think about this and this and this and this and this? And they're all telling you the same thing. You could go to both of them. And I mean, you could take it wherever you want to take it, but you could be like, I need to see some cell phones. I need to see some. You could have, but you know what that is. You know why you don't do that? Because you don't want to know. You'd rather this just, maybe it just blow over, maybe it just go away. He ain't the first football coach to ever. We're coming off a national championship.
Right.
We don't need this in our blowing up. Just maybe it'll just go away. See, but when it blows up on you, it's going to get you and a whole bunch of other people. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at now. I'll never forget something Josh Pastner told me at one point while he was the coach at Memphis. He said, any phone call I get, any email I get about anything that could be considered problematic, anything I hear, if somebody stops me at McDonald's and says, hey, coach, I saw or I heard, I immediately take it right to compliance. So at any point while Josh Pastner was the coach at Memphis, if you would have sent an email and say, dear Coach Pastner, my name is Billy. I was at Census on Friday night, and I saw two of your basketball players pull up in a Lamborghini that I know, given that we're in a pre-NIL era, they could not have afforded. Once I was in the club, I saw them get free drinks and whatever, and I'm just a concerned booster because I know this is all in violation of NCAA rules and I don't want us back on probation. I just want to let you know. Sincerely, Billy. Whether that's true or not, you know what Josh said he would do? Forward compliance. You guys go check it out. If it's not true, who cares? If it's true, self-report it, handle it. Because if it ever blows up into something, you know what Josh Pastner could always say? Oh, yeah, I was told about that on July 15th, whatever year. And then I can show you the email came in at 9:14 a.m. I can show you that. And then I forwarded to compliance at 9:21 a.m. And then I told them, hey, guys, just wanted to let you know about this. Let me know if you need anything from me. And I haven't heard back from them. But, like, what else was I supposed to do? Mm-hmm. I ain't about to lose my $1 million contract over something like this. But you know who's about to lose their job over something like this? Warren Manuel.
Yeah.
That letter, because he didn't do that. He wanted it to just go away, which I completely understand. Like, I think we all probably are faced at some point in our lives with a decision like that. I know the quote-unquote right thing to do right here, but if I don't do it, can this just all go away and never come up again? You know where we talked about it? That documentary on Netflix or HBO or wherever we've watched it. The woman, it was like, should I marry a murderer? Something like that. You remember? It's higher stakes, but same type of deal. She found out her husband or her fiance killed somebody a long time ago. And she was faced with this sort of dilemma. The right thing to do is turn him in. That's the right thing to do. Turn him in, move on. That's the right thing to do. But, man, that's going to really mess my life up if I do that. So can I just let it go, hope it never comes up again? She decided to turn him in. She did the right thing. But that's a hard decision. And we both like sort of like didn't know what we would do in that same situation. That's tough. But she made that decision. Warren Manuel made the opposite decision. I know higher stakes, lesser stakes. I got it. But it's the same type of thing. He was brought information at one point, and at that moment you can either really pursue this or hope it never comes up again. They seemed to hope it would never come up again. It did when she broke it off and he barged into her apartment and the cops were called. And now everybody's losing their jobs. Yeah.
Number 5.
Special shouts to the House. I don't say that often. Passed a bill yesterday that would make daylight saving times permanent. Now it's in the hands of the Senate. How do you feel about daylight savings time? I want to be clear. If this goes through, the world we will live in is a world in which 12 months a year, we never move the clocks, and we will have less light in the morning, but more light at the end of the day.
I like it. I'm for it.
Me too.
I'm for it.
I'm so for it.
So Jessica was kind of like, and also I'm glad that we're saying it the right way. I don't care what the correct pronunciation is. It's daylight savings time. I will never say daylight saving time. That just sounds stupid. I don't care if it's the right way to say it.
I'll join you with that. Sure.
I throw the S on the end. Sorry.
Sure.
But JB was saying like that studies have shown that like it's better for us like chemically to wake up with sunshine, so like that it might be counterproductive to wake up in the dark every single day.
Got it. You ready for this? Sleep later.
Yeah, I don't care about waking up in the dark. I want because the worst feeling in the world is when you are rushing against the clock and rushing against it getting dark outside. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Bless her. Bless Jessica. I know her heart's in the right place, but she just got this one backwards. If the problem is, because this is what people will say, the people who push back on it, they'll say, well, every morning you're going to wake up. Like in Memphis in the winter, it might be 8 a.m. and still dark outside.
Cool.
Fine with me.
I'm good.
Here's what people say. Well, what about the kid? Yeah, you're going to drive the kids to school every morning in the dark?
Yes.
Kids are going to be just standing out in school buses in the dark? You ready? I got a fix. Call me a genius as soon as I say it. Start school later? Start everything later. In what world did we decide we need to have kids up at 6:45 in the morning? that we need that I need to be out the door by 7:30.
Interesting.
Like there are schools that start at 7 a.m., 7:15. My son's school starts at 8:15. You ready for this? Still too early. And that's not just my opinion because I'm lazy or like to sleep. When you go through puberty, when you hit a certain age as a teenager, something happens to your brain that makes it very difficult to go to sleep before 11 p.m.
Good point.
When you ask kids, and I'm not just making things up, this is all out there. It makes it very difficult to go to sleep before 11 p.m. once you hit a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're like, hey, it's 6 a.m., get up. You didn't get a good night's sleep.
Right.
What do people tell you all the time? Most important thing
8
you can
hours.
do, get a good night's sleep. Most important thing you do. Sleep's very important. People used to brag about, I don't only sleep 3 hours a day. You know what smart people and doctors say? That's not something to brag about, idiot. Like you need good rest, all right?
Do naps make up for it?
Naps are better than not naps, but good night of sleep is the best thing you can do. And our entire schedules are set up to not allow for us to have. So if your argument against this is, I don't want to drive the kids to school in the dark. Me neither. So let's start school later. We should all start our days later. Why are we up at 6 a.m. when we have studies that show it's hard to be asleep by 11 p.m.? Most people, if you want to, quote, go to bed early, you have to make yourself go to bed early. Why not naturally fall asleep at a natural time, get a good night's sleep, let the sun rise at 8:15 a.m. in the winter, and instead of being at work at 9, you got to be at work at 10:30. And then we get more daylight throughout the day. We just sort of decided in our heads, I get off work at 5. What would you rather do? Be on a schedule where you don't get off at 5. You get off at 7. But you didn't start your day at 9. You didn't start it till 11. So you had your whole morning, whatever time you wanted to get up, you had some extra time. You're still going to get home at 7. But here's the thing. You don't go to bed at 9:30 anymore. Nobody goes to bed at 9:30 anymore. It's not natural to go to bed at that early. Now you go to bed at 11, 11:30, 11:30. And maybe we could meet in the middle here. It doesn't have to be start your day at 11. It can be school starts this morning for the kids at 10. Instead of starting school at 8:15, let's start it at 9:45. I'm just saying we can debate how far to shift it. But there are countless studies done that suggest it's actually better for our children if we shifted it. Our kids should not be getting up this early and being asked to learn at 7, 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. That is not the best way to do it. Countless studies show it.
Okay.
So if the pushback on this is, I don't want our kids up that early in the dark, I agree. So let's move their schedules too. Move everybody's schedules. Let's stay up later. Let's sleep in later. And if the sun doesn't rise until 7:30, 7:45, 8 a.m., fine with me. We're just better rested. And then you know what you get on the back end? You need to make a 4 p.m. tea time? Still get that in, no problem. Me and Vernon got a 3:50 p.m. tea time one day next week. And we're probably going to be able to finish that, walking 18 holes on a beautiful golf course. Why? Because of the way we have constructed the calendar and the schedule right now. It should be 12 months a year. Give me as much daytime, sunlight, as late in the day as I can possibly have. And if the only reason not to do it or the biggest reason not to do it is because we don't want it to be dark when we wake up, I got an easy fix. Take your melatonin and just sleep a little better. Sleep in. We don't need to get up at 6. If you want to wait for the sunlight, sleep till 7:45. All we got to do is just change all the schedules. And I know it's more complicated than just snapping your fingers, but however complicated it is, once we get there, be a better country.
Okay.
Then we can focus on getting the Strait of Hormuz open.
I'm in.
I'm in too. Be back with carryout.
This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh,
on
I'm
there.
sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefit, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Memphis Grizzlies are looking for energetic and dedicated talent of all ages to join our live entertainment teams for next season. Audition for the Grizz Girls, Grannies and Grandpas, Blue Bunch, and more. Lock in your audition spot. You can do it today at grizzlies.com/audition. The way to get involved, go to that website, grizzlies.com/audition. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
So I saw somebody in the chat ask if there was an update on my smashed glass roof situation of my vehicle with the trucking company.
Yep.
This, of course, happened on Monday. Truck on the interstate, carrying a bunch of stuff. Got a tarp over it because when you're carrying a bunch of stuff on the interstate, it might fly out. You put a tarp over it. Didn't put the tarp on well. Something flew out. Bang my roof. Smashed the glass roof. I told you that the woman told me she'd have to talk to her, quote, foreman and call me back tomorrow, which would have been yesterday. So I guess the question in the chat is, so did they call? If they call, when did they call? Okay, GP, what happened? They didn't call. So you're already not doing what you said you were going to do. I'm already on edge. I'm busy. I got other things going on in my life. So I'm not going to worry about this for the next few hours. I'm going to worry about other things in my life. But this is headed down a path where I feel like my frustration is going to grow. And I can stop, breathe, assess as much as I want. But I don't think I'm going to handle this situation well. And I don't think it'll be my fault. I think I'm being mistreated right now. You didn't do what you were supposed to do with your truck. Now I've got a problem. Even if you handle it the right way, I've still got a problem. And now you're not even handling it the way you told me you would.
You're running from the problem.
So now I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah. I would be too.
My baseline for everybody in my life is just do what you said you were going to do. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we talked, you said you were going to call me tomorrow after you talked to your foreman. You didn't do that. My frustration's growing. I plan to have a verbal confrontation at some point today.
Good, because again, it just goes back to we cannot allow these truck companies.
I'm fighting for the little people. It's not me as much as it's you.
We cannot allow
I'm fighting for you, Bennett.
These companies to get away with destroying people's windshields on the interstate or sunroofs, whatever, glass
roof, not a sunroof. I don't want people thinking I'm driving around with a sunroof.
No, it's a glass roof.
It's the type of car I have, the whole roof's glass. I didn't build it that way. That's just the way they come.
We cannot let people just get away with this.
I'm doing this for you.
They're damaging people's property and then just saying, well, your insurance will cover it. What are you talking about?
I'm going to focus on other things in my life when I leave here because I got other things I got to focus on. But eventually I'm going to turn my attention back to this situation. And I'm afraid by then it won't matter how much I breathe. It won't matter how much I stop, breathe, and assess. I'm not going to be able to handle it well.
Because the thing, I know we gotta go, but I thought about this a lot yesterday because I had like an issue with like a tree falling on a fence and stuff like that. Trees, you can't go around and cut down every tree. You're not going to be able to prevent trees damaging things, damaging people's property all over this
I had a tree fall on my fence, and you know what I did?
Yeah.
I called a tree guy and got him to get it off my fence, and then I called a fence guy and got him to fix my fence because I didn't know who to blame for that. I'm not mad at anybody.
Tree things had some.
I know who to blame for this. It's you. You did this. I know who's at fault. It's not me. It's you. You did this.
Didn't secure rocks on your truck, and they damaged the car, and that's your fault.
That's your fault. You did this.
I mean, come on.
This is not complicated. I could win this argument 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You did this. Even if you handle it reasonably, I'm still going to have to be the person that takes it somewhere, drops it off, gets it repaired, has to pick it back off. I'm inconvenienced even if you do the right thing. But so far, you're not even doing the right thing. So far, you're not even doing what you told me you would do.
No.
My frustration's growing.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated too.
I'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What's today's biggest game?
Argentina, England, World Cup semifinal, 2 o'clock. I can give you England minus 130. Just straight pick them.
No.
Argentina minus 110.
I got a dub yesterday with the AL. They were underdogs coming in, so I'm playing with house money, and we're going Argentina. Come on. How can we not root for the GOAT?
Oh, it's Messi time, 2 o'clock today. You can watch it on Fox.
What are we watching on TV?
ESPYs are tonight. Do we care? Do people care about the ESPYs anymore?
The ESPYs is one of those things where I can't remember the last time I really watched the whole thing live. I will consume like the clips and stuff that'll get populated on social media. So like I will consume the ESPYs in some fashion tonight. Yes.
7 o'clock, ABC, live from Lincoln Center in New York City. Team of the year. It's got to be the New York Knicks.
Yeah, of course.
But like, how is it not Indiana football?
You got to give it to the Knicks.
Or even Michigan basketball.
I think you got to give it to the Knicks.
I think it's the Knicks.
Yeah.
But like, there's some really great champions.
Pretty compelling, yeah.
Like, Indiana football is a great champion.
It is.
But it's probably the New York Knicks.
I think so.
Right, we'll find out tonight, ABC, 7 o'clock.
What's the best thing we've read?
Over at CBSSports.com, they have done a hot seat ranking for every college football coach. And I don't think you'll be surprised to know the hottest seat in the country, well, that belongs to our old buddy, Mike Norvell. The hot seat ranking goes from 1 to 5, and he got a 5.
Yeah.
So it's put up or shut up time.
Yeah.
Down there in Tallahassee. Mike Norvell got a 5. That's the hottest seat you can have. You can read every rating for every coach. You can find it on the homepage right now, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Thursday. It means Michael Wallace will join me. By then, the World Cup final will be set, so we'll obviously discuss that. Getting you ready for Grizzlies and Hawks Summer League meeting out in Las Vegas. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to enjoy mine
Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.